All
I get
right.
back to her, you have to give me a JRC update, you know?
I gotta give you so many updates, Randy.
So I'm calling to order the meeting of the March 20th, 2023 Rotary Club of Jamestown. Welcome, everybody. So I was supposed to ring. Oh, now I'll ring the bell. Ding. Please join me in reciting the Pledge of Allegiance, singing our national anthem, and repeating the four-way test. I pledge allegiance And so let's repeat the four-way test. Of the things we think, say, or do, is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? And will it be beneficial to all? And so our invocation today is by Vicki McGraw.
How nice is it to see the sunshine? After this last weekend, we'll take every sunny day we can get. And to celebrate the first day of spring with that sunshine, how blessed. Please join me in prayer. Father, we thank you for a fresh start today. Thank you for the reminder of renewal that spring represents to us on earth. You spring forth a new thing. I am excited and expectant of your goodness in this spring season. Thank you, Father. Prepare me for all the new and wonderful things you have for my life. Help me to let go of the old things that hold me back, the things that do not bring me life, the things that keep me living in the past. I will cling to my new identity in Christ as you help me to keep springing forward in my journey with you. Amen.
Very good. And Marion, our Vice President, would you please announce the visiting Rotarians?
Thank you. Okay, we are pleased to welcome today a guest of Mike, who has disappeared. I'm not sure where you are, Mike, in the room. Jessica Lochner, if you want to stand, Jessica, welcome. Thanks for being with us.
Okay, very good. And for announcements today, your Rotarily Yours recorder is Chris Anderson. And as always, we thank you for our many thanks for you and the communication committees for all that you do to keep us informed. And I also want to just say welcome to everyone who's here today. Wow, it's so great to see so many tables filled, so many people here. Thank you, thank you. Another huge thank you is to all of you who completed the survey that we sent out. We really appreciated. We had more than half the club complete the survey. And so we will be reviewing that and reporting back to you at the April 3rd meeting. So there are a few copies that we had left that are on the back stand as you go out. If anyone wants to fill one out. I'll try a different mic. No, there it is. It's coming back manually. And turn it into either Marion or myself. That would be. Let's see if this one will work for a while. Okay. So don't feel bad on Zoom. Nobody could hear me. So and so we will go over those results with you April 3rd. I am hoping you are all taking note as you come into town on Route 60 from the north of the progress that we are making on getting our Welcome to Jamestown sign right up there by across from the cemetery, right by the McMobile. And so please take note. And now it's spring, and I understand that the cabinet is complete, and they're going to be putting together the components, which will hopefully all fit perfectly so that we can get the sign up soon. So many of you may not know that this sign project has been going on for years and years and years and years. And it was part of our gala 100th anniversary. And we are really looking forward to seeing it. It's a project we worked with much assistance and with the cooperation of the city of Jamestown. Okay. District Conference weekend is April 15th and 16th. I know John sent you an email about it with some information. The information seemed a little sketchy to me, so I tried to find some more information. So we would really love to have a good number of people attend this district conference for many reasons. It's the first one in many years. You can learn more about what's going on all over our district. It will be a chance to be in person, and it's in the United States, so it will be easy to get there. It is a 2-hour drive to Niagara Community College, but it is very accessible. So on the 15th, it starts the morning with the district council meeting. So that's where you can learn more about what the council is doing. And then starting at noon, there are all kinds of workshops and a lot more about community service displays that'll be going on. And then at 4 o'clock, they're going to have a meat raffle. And so this is something that our fundraising committee has been considering. So there's lots of reasons for people who are either involved in community service. That community service was a top subject in the survey, people wanting to have good community service projects. So this is an opportunity for us to go and see what other Rotaries are doing for community service projects, as well as raising the flag for our wonderful literacy committee projects and for the sign and other things like that. So I really would like to encourage you to go. And also, Yoa needs a ride. And Yoa will be a part of the parade Saturday morning, another reason to go in the morning. So it's basically a daytime. So it would be something you could commute there and back on Saturday. But on Sunday, they're having a family get together at the, I'm going to miss the name of it. Say it again. Riverworks. Thank you. It's going to be a free afternoon for people to experience the Riverworks. And I'm sure there'll be other things going on, but I just don't know what they are yet. But please, please, if at all possible, put at least one day on your calendar and let's have a good showing there at the district conference. So Thursday, the 23rd, Literacy has a meeting at noon by Zoom. Anything else you want to say about that, Diana? So please, let's see about that. Hey, who wants to announce about Farch?
Michelle couldn't make it today. So on behalf of the social committee, just reminding everybody, Friday night, Barch, it's at the Northwest Arena. Today's the last day you can make a reservation. She sent you an email this morning. You can just reply to her if you haven't yet. We want to get as many as we can. Bring somebody that you think would be interested in learning more about Rotary and meeting with us. And I think we have 7 chilies to date, all different. My husband's doing venison with 3 bean. We have a white chicken chili. We have a vegetarian chili. So, it's going to be a fun day or evening, $15 per person. And you can get down on the ice and you can ride on the bumper cars or you can do curling.
Yeah, I think it'll be a marvelous time. It sounds really exciting. Well, membership committee had a wonderful meeting on Tuesday with 4 prospective members. And we are so excited. George, who you've already met several times, is in the room. Sean was there also. But in addition, there were 2 new applications. So one person you're going to recognize, it's Emily Kama, who was mom to Yoa for several months. And so she has got her application in. And so does Rita Freeborough, who many of you know as a past Rotarian. So, as required by the club bylaws, members have 10 days to provide any written comments or concerns to the secretary. Raise your hand, Ms. Secretary, Lisa, and about the proposed new members. If we receive no comments or concern, the membership committee will move forward with approval of Emily and Rita. So yeah, let's give them a hand. We're excited to have you. So I also wanted to mention that I received a letter from the YWCA thanking us. It says, Dear Ruth, YWCA Jamestown's first ever coldest night of the year was a huge success, and thanks to you, we did it. Together, we raised over $14,000 for the YWCA and our supportive housing program. And I will say over 2,500 of that was from our Rotary, 3 Rotary clubs. So really proud of that. And she says, thank you for fundraising and for getting Rotary involved. So we're really excited about that. And thank you all who participated in one way or the other. To stay on the YWCA for a minute, they are having a summit on April 25th from 8:30 to 4:30 right here at the DoubleTree on putting the I in diversity, investment, intention, and inclusion. So if you're interested in it, please go on to ywcajamestown.com and under summit. Oh, that's the wrong list. Here's the right list. So youth exchange. I don't think Sherry's on here, so I wanted to make these announcements. Please, 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 on our Facebook page, there's a posting about Ryla Jr., used to be called Slapshot. This is a weekend leadership event for high school students, 15 to 18 years old. And it's a wonderful, enriching opportunity. And Rotary, we will pay for 2 students to go. Actually, we might ante up for more if we can get more. The only caveat I have to say to that is it's in Ancaster, Ontario. So the students have to have a passport and they'd have to have transportation there, but it will be free for them. So I think it's especially fun for the kids if more than one person comes from Jamestown and they can come back and really implement things. I don't know how many of you remember, but one year we had 2 students who went, and when they came back, they formed an Interact Club at Southwestern. So it's a really beneficial program. Yoa will be moving to his 3rd host family, the Kidders, on Easter Sunday. So we hope you have a smooth transition, Yoa. And then I've also already mentioned he needs a ride to the district conference. April 15th and 16th. And he will be presenting to this club on May 15th. So please mark that in your calendar now. So Yo is a wonderful exchange student that we've had here. We also send exchange students out. We still need a host for the exchange student that's going to be coming next July or August. So please, please, if you are the least bit interested, or if you know someone who might be interested, please let Sherry know, because if we don't get the first house for the students, we don't get the student. So we have to at least have one person committed to greet them when they come. We do have a family that's willing to host, but they are unable to do be the first. So please think of your friends, think of your family who might, they don't have to have a high school age student. Yoa can tell you it can be a lot of fun with little kids, but it can also be a lot of fun without kids. So please think about it. Oh, and finally, I'm going sort of from far away to close. This Tuesday at 7 p.m., there is a Zoom about community service. And many clubs, I guess most clubs, have a community service chair. We don't. We have Red Kettle, we have things going on in literacy, we have vocational, but we don't have a community service chair. We have environmental. So I would love for as many of our people who do community service projects, who lead them, to go on this Zoom at 7 o'clock this Tuesday. And I will be happy to send you the link. I meant to do it before I came here, but I didn't get it done. So I will try to get that link out to as many of you as possible so we can hear, once again, what other clubs are doing. We'll also hear what's going to be happening on April 15th. And should be a very informative Zoom meeting. Anyone else have any announcements? I've been really hogging this. Cover all the bases. All right. So please get your tickets ready. Who's got tickets? Mike's got tickets. All right, Mike. Woo. What college did you get your math from? Who's got it? Who has it? So $35 to Vicky McGraw. Very good. So let's see. He's hit. Oh, he's already back there. Hey, a hand for Doug Conroe.
Yeah, the stealth. Okay. Well, today we didn't get money to put in ahead of time to feed the pot. So I thought maybe we'd have an auction. We could start maybe at $100 or something, because who would like to have this cell phone? It's a nice modern one. It was left out at the front desk. Welcome to Jamestown Rotary. You and your $100 bill, and this phone is yours. Come on up and bring your purse. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay. Okay. And speaking of money, we have who tried to avoid being seen in the picture in the paper, but you know, X-ray eyes here. There's a new assistant treasurer for Crush in the room. Hey, Lisa. Welcome aboard. And then in today's Gazette, I thank Stacy for adding to the pot greatly with all the Rotarians that were pictured. Stacy, Sherry, Lisa, I think Lisa's online. Sherry's not here, and Michelle were pictured in today's Gazette. So, well, we got part of that. Okay. And basketball is proceeding. I don't know if any of you live in the Randolph School District. Boys came home. Oh, you do, huh? First state title ever for Randolph. And the ladies made it through semi. So those are both accomplishments to be. Then you get on to college, and our Michigan State alum is not here. Both of them are not here today, unfortunately. Michigan State was a nice little upset on Marquette. I think we might have a Princeton grad in the room, maybe, or online. Notre Dame should be online, and Nova. We do have a Nova grad. Aha. Okay. Notre Dame and Nova were the ladies, and Princeton, Michigan State were the men's. So that's relief for Michigan. Well, thank you. Yeah, good. And Florida, oh, yes, great. Florida Atlantic did great. Boy. This past weekend, Gazette recognized the Irish, and I would never fine anyone for being Irish. At the same time, if you're truly Irish, you shouldn't be in a condition to attend today's meeting. So if you are Irish and you are attending today's meeting, come on up front. Okay. Okay. And I think we'll let that be for today. Maybe there's some happy bucks.
I am going to start the happy bucks while all these Irish folks are queuing up with, once again, it takes a village to get Ruth on the computer and on the screen, and hopefully people will be able to see the wonderful presentation. So thanks to Chris and George and Marion, and who else helped me as I was wringing my hands. Thank you all so much. Who else has happy bucks?
I'm going to need your help here. Okay. You're going to need to read this. Okay. So I'm leaving the office this morning, and I was hoping that Lee would be here to share with me, but I want you to read this line right here and what it says I received in the mail today.
Ohio State pattern iPhone 14 Pro.
It's not funny.
Mike, don't leave. We got to get a picture of that.
My happy buck is I had the privilege of having breakfast with Yoa Saturday morning at Red's Best, and he didn't beat 50, I think, is the highest, so he didn't quite make that, but he did a good job. It was fun.
My happy buck is for an event that the chamber had last week. We did one of our business after hours networking out at the Green Door Tavern. It was a great turnout and just such a good atmosphere. We're so excited about those events, and I wanted to talk about it today because April 13th, I believe it is, we are going to be having our next business after hours here at Pearl City Hops. So please let me know if you're interested in attending, and if you attend, you might learn some fun facts such as what breakfast item represents our local businesses, or what Lucky Charms marshmallow they would be. So if you want to find out what we're going to talk about the 13th, come check it out. Thanks.
Actually have two happy bucks. I'm happy to to see so many Rotarians at our St. Luke's event last Wednesday. The music was unbelievable, and it was in support of our bell tower, but it looked like I'd say 3/4 of the room. No, maybe not quite that, but there were a lot of Rotarians there, and you all were very generous. So a happy buck for that. And also a happy buck for our speakers today who are doing yeoman's work. This is going to make a huge difference to our community in the most positive way. And so I am grateful and blessed to have them with us. So happy buck there. Okay.
Very nice. Thank you, everybody. And thank you for being happy on this beautiful day. And so I'm going to ask Marion to come back up and introduce our speaker, and at which time I'm going to share the screen so that.
Thank you. Stand in front. You can see me there. Okay. I am pleased to welcome two speakers this morning, and the first is going to be Beth Litton. She is Resettlement Manager of the Jamestown office of Journey's End Refugee Services. She is a Frewsburg native and is a graduate of Cedarville University and has over 9 years of experience working with immigrant and refugee populations. She is passionate about welcoming refugees and seeing them become contributing members of our community. Also with us is Bulo Emmanuel, who is in the Office of New American Immigrants, and he is the community navigator at Journey's End Refugee Service. He can give you more background, but I'd like to welcome both of them to the podium.
Good afternoon. I'm sorry. Good afternoon. Thank you, Marion, for that welcome. And I'm excited to have Bulo here with me today. It was about a year ago that Bulo and some of the other staff members from Journey's End Refugee Services came to Jamestown, and we met at St. Luke's and talked about our own community and what it would look like to welcome refugees here. So we officially resettled our first family last month. So I wanted to share just a little bit about Journey's End and the services that we provide, and then ways that you can partner with us in welcoming those families to Jamestown. So the mission of Journey's End Refugee Services, we are a Christian community-based organization with the mission of welcoming refugees without regard to ethnic origin or creed, and then helping them become contributing members of their new communities. So I wanted to share today a little bit about who a refugee is, how that differs from an asylee or asylum seeker, the programs that Journey's End provides for new refugees, and also volunteer opportunities and ways that you can partner with us. So a refugee, by definition, is a person who has fled their home country due to fear of persecution. That persecution can be based on ethnic origin, religion, political affiliation, any number of factors. They're not able to return to their home countries. They're not economic migrants, and they come from a wide range of backgrounds. So we have refugees who perhaps were farmers in their home countries, teachers, lawyers, doctors. There are many different backgrounds represented by refugee populations. An asylum seeker is someone who is present in the United States either on a valid status, so this could be a student visa or a tourist visa, or perhaps an expired status, an expired visa, who is not able to return to their home country because of a fear of persecution. And they have also applied for asylum protection within the United States. An asylee is an asylum seeker whose status has been granted. So those are the different terms that sometimes we hear even in our own communities. Journeys End Refugee Services through our resettlement programs serve refugees. So there are 27.1 million refugees in the world. And the top 5 refugee producing countries are Syria, Democratic Republic of the Congo, Afghanistan, South Sudan, and Myanmar, which is also known as Burma. So those are countries that you're probably familiar with, that you've heard in the news, and where the majority of refugee populations come from. I think this last statistic is really important. It says less than 1%. It's actually less than 1/4 of 1% of refugees will ever be resettled in another country. So that could be the United States, that could be Germany, or another country in Europe that takes refugees through the United Nations, but less than 1/4 of 1%. So it's a very small number. The average length of stay in a refugee camp is 17 years. So often the families that we see resettled have been maybe in a camp for 15 years to 25 years. Sometimes it was actually the previous generation that fled their home country. And then the children that are being resettled have only lived within the camp. So the resettlement process for refugees: flee your home country, that's the initial step, and seek refuge in another country. Then they will apply to the UNHCR to be resettled. And then there is a detailed vetting process. It includes checks from multiple agencies. So the Department of Homeland Security, the CIA, there's a bioterrorism screening force, lots of security and background clearances. That process typically takes 1.5 to 2 years. After that process is complete, refugees are assigned to the United States and then assigned within the United States to a volunteer agency. So there are 9 agencies in the United States that resettle refugees. Journeys End is an affiliate of Church World Service. That is our national agency. And then Journeys End is the Buffalo and now Jamestown office as well. Refugees will then travel to Buffalo, where they will be met by Journeys End staff at the airport. So what does Journeys End do? So now we have families that have arrived, they completed that vetting process, and they're in Buffalo or now in Jamestown. We typically, as an agency, receive about 2 weeks notice that a family will be traveling to be resettled. So in those 2 weeks, it is our responsibility to find, rent, and furnish an apartment for a family. So you can imagine that is a very quick and short turnaround. We'll provide transportation for the family from the airport to their new home, as well as case management services for 3 months. Refugees also receive what is referred to as welcome money. So that is $1,275 per person. That money goes towards rent, groceries, utilities, other needed items up until the time the family starts working, which is around 90 days. So we specifically provide resettlement services, case management services for the initial 90 days. That looks like helping refugees apply for public assistance, for Social Security cards, employment authorization documents, school enrollment, connecting them with a primary care provider in their new community. And then employment services, employable adults will have an employment specialist who will help them secure employment and look for jobs. And then in addition to those services, Journey's End also provides legal and immigration services, interpretation services, and then community outreach. So refugees have a lengthy to-do list when they arrive that involves finding a job in cooperation with their employment specialist, learning English if they don't speak English already, and making payments on their travel loan. Their initial flights to the United States are a travel loan through the International Office of Migration. So 6 months after they arrive, families start making payments on that loan. Within 1 year, they will be eligible for permanent residency. And then after 5 years, they're eligible for citizenship.
As she said earlier, my name is Bulo Emmanuel, and I know she mentioned a little bit about the process of refugees and how they got here. Myself, I was born in Tanzania, but my mom came from Republican Democratic of Congo, and you can imagine how long she been in Tanzania for 16 years. Because I was born there. I mean, she been there longer than 15 years. I was born in Tanzania, grew up in Tanzania for 16 years before I get to America. That's how long it takes us. And I also just want to add about that process that she was mentioning. I also take quite some times, and it takes a lot of emotions to explain. Because there's some questions that really trigger, but you have to answer those to go to a so-called third country. So from your country to a refugee camp, that's the first country they said. I mean the second country, and then from there to another country outside, that's the third. So yeah, and it's really interesting if you learn more about how refugees go through that process.
So I just wanted to share a few ways that you can partner with us in this community, specifically in Jamestown. I know Marion, Melissa, I'm looking, the Sandbergs, familiar faces who are volunteers through Journey's End. So I know they also can speak to their own experiences. But specifically donation drives. You can imagine when a family arrives, they need everything that we would need to start fresh in a new apartment, in a new place. So donation drives can look like collecting home cleaning supplies, personal hygiene items, baby items, school supplies, anything that you can think a family might need to start over. We also have lists of items that are commonly collected. You can imagine that many of our refugees arrive from climates that are much warmer than ours. And so coats, boots, winter accessories are also needs. So groups can do donation drives for those items as well. Co-sponsorship. This is a really beautiful piece that involves established community groups like churches, student organizations, Rotary clubs, walking alongside one specific family as they resettle. So those volunteers would help one family and work alongside the case manager in providing core services to that family. Could look like taking a family to the grocery store or showing them how to use the cart system. It can look like many different things. And then I also just wanted to share one last opportunity that is also a beautiful opportunity is our Western New York Refugee Film Festival. That is Journey's End's only fundraiser throughout the year. It is virtual. Our next film will be this Thursday, March 23rd at 7 p.m. So you can watch it from home. You can invite your family and friends to watch it as well. They're offering about one a month or one every 2 months. The actual dates are on the website at WNYRFF.org. And then I've just shared my contact information, Bulow's contact information as well. If you have specific questions or if you're interested in volunteer opportunities, we'd be happy to chat with you. So thank you so much. So the question is, when refugees arrive with various academic credentials or certifications from other countries, how Journey's End might help them secure employment or perhaps secure those same certifications in the United States.
Yes, there is a lot of ways you can help. And one of those ways is sending them to ESL classes. Like Johnny's End, we do offer ESL classes to students who cannot speak English, because I know that's the main reason why those educations back home, they're not getting any credit here, because people cannot speak English. So if you send them to English classes, and as soon as they can be able to speak English, then you can send them to, at least in the Buffalo area, they send them to local colleges. Like for 2 years, they will translate those documentations, if they have them, from their own country to English, and then they can go through the process of like registering for college at least 2 years. Or if they don't have those documentations, another way is to get a GD. And if they have a GD, then they can go to college for at least 2 years and apply it for the job that they prefer.
Sure. So the question for Zoom participants is if we have storage for donations that we can't use immediately. And yes, we have one storage facility that is primarily for household items. And then we're working on securing a second facility that is for furniture, because there wasn't enough space in the first facility for both furniture and household items. So yes. The storage facilities are in Jamestown. Yes. Buffalo has storage too, but for the clients in Buffalo. Yes.
Thank you so much to both of you for coming and speaking to us. And we're so thrilled that we're actually boots on the ground at this point. So glad to hear about it. So one of Rotary's major international programs is to eradicate polio in the world. And in honor and thanks for your presentation to our Rotary Club today, we will make a donation in your name that will vaccinate 4 children who will never experience polio in their lives. So thank you for your talk. And everyone, remember this year's Rotary International theme, Imagine Rodeo. Rodeo. Rotary. And we're adjourned.